Hello, welcome back to channel. In this video, I'm grading a cinematic close-up with a rich, saturated film look. Today you'll see me using Dehancer Pro and some DCTLs by PixelTools. And it's not because I want to sell you anything, but because these are part of my everyday workflow as a colorist. Some of them I even consider my secret tools for achieving that cinematic look. So, if you're serious about cinematic color grading, I highly recommend watching until the end, especially for the split toning DCTL, where the real magic happens. I know not everyone uses paid plugins, which is why I also make tutorials with only Resolve's built-in tools. But today I'm diving in with some of the powerful tools I rely on every day. So, if you're here, let's get started. First, let's take a quick look at the project settings. I've set the timeline and video resolution to 4K, and for color science, I'm using DaVinci YRGB. My timeline color space is DaVinci White Gamut Intermediate, and the output color space is Reg 709 with Gamma 2.4. As always, this setup gives me a solid foundation for precise color control and a clear delivery format. Now, we'll start by adding our input and output CST nodes. Since this footage was shot on red, I'll set the source color space accordingly. We're converting it into DaVinci White Gamut Intermediate for more flexibility during grading. Then, in the output CST, we're bringing it back to Reg 709, Gamma 2.4 for standard delivery. By the way, make sure to set your tone mapping to a max of 10,000 nits in the output CST. This helps preserve highlight detail and also ensures smoother roll-off. Okay, I want to start by applying some film look profiles using Dehancer Pro. Since this will influence our contrast, I always prefer to do it early in the grade. I'm setting the color space to DaVinci White Gamut here and disabling the default tools just to avoid any unwanted interference. And don't forget, always set the processing quality to high. First, I'm adding codec 2383 as our print film emulation, which gives us that classic cinematic contrast and color density. Then I'm choosing codec 250D as a negative film profile to shape the image's tonal response. This combo, negative and positive, helps simulate the full photochemical process, so I love it. I'll also enable film compression here to gently roll off the highlights here as well and protect skin tones without crushing the image. Finally, I'm adding some film emulation effects, just a bit of fine film grain for texture and subtle halation around the highlights and a touch of blue. Okay, once the look is dialed in, you can always adjust the global output to fine-tune the overall balance to your liking. Looking at the image, I'm happy with the overall contrast, but I want to show you a tool I really like for primary adjustments. This one is by PixelTools. Let's add it here. First up is the false color feature, which is super helpful for checking exposure. And as you can see, we get a clear exposure map across the image. The right side of the subject's face is catching some sunlight, so it is expected to be a bit overexposed. In fact, we can even push the exposure slightly more to lift the shadowy side of his face. Another feature I love here is the skin tone checker. In this case, the middle of his face shows yellow, which means it is good. Whereas the sides shift a bit toward green, but given the sunlight on his face and also the shadow on the other side, that variation is totally acceptable, so I'll leave it as is. There is also a white balance check built in. If you look at the white vase here in the background, it is showing up green, which confirms our image has a solid color balance. So I'm not going to make any further primary adjustments here, but you can easily tweak contrast, temperature and other settings here if needed. Just like this, if you want a more contrasty grade. Let me cancel these. Now let's move on to the secondary grading. I'll add a new node for sharpening to give the image a cleaner, crispier look. First, here I'm selecting the Sharpen tool and setting both the softness and level to 50. Then I'll push a bit of sharpness. Okay, as you can see, the sharpening is currently affecting the entire image, but I only want it to enhance the highlights. To control that, let's add a matte node. This helps isolate the highlights. So the sharpening effect we applied is now focused just on the brighter areas of the face, as you can see. Next, I'm adding some glow to enhance the highlights. Again, I want to affect only the bright areas, so I'll connect the blue alpha input to the same matte node. Now let's adjust the shine threshold. Somewhere around here looks good. Yeah. I also like to keep the spread on the lower side to maintain a more natural, subtle glow. Alright, let's check the before and after. Perfect. Now we've got a healthier, more lively skin tone. At this point, I want to soften the highlight roll-off just a little. Let's use the HDR wheels to see where the bright side of his face sits. It is not in the highlights range, but yeah, actually it falls under the lights wheel. I'll lower it by about 0.20 for a softer, more natural look. Great. In the next node, I want to add the Soften and Sharpen tool. It is a subtle way to clean up the image while still keeping that filmic organic feel. Let's check the before and after. Yes, it is subtle, but it's doing the job. Okay, now let's add the film look grader for some fine adjustments. Here I'll start with a clean slate. My goal here is to push the image just a little more toward a cinematic feel, and nothing too extreme, just a subtle shift away from a typical video look. Here, if you want a punchier image, you can use the subtractive saturation. This one increases saturation by reducing the brightness in the saturated areas, which helps preserve skin tones. Here we can also add some richness. Nice. Now, it is time for the split toning effect. For this, I'll be using the split toning detail by PixelTools. There are a couple of options here. First, there is the advanced hue split toning. This one lets you adjust the hue for different tonal ranges, highlights, high mids, mids, low mids, and shadows, all independently. For faster workflows, there is also a basic hue split toning version. And then there is the RGB split toning tool. This one lets you tweak red, green, and blue channels separately across the same tonal ranges. But today we'll be using the basic version of this one, which is simpler and more intuitive. I'll start by warming the highlights, just a touch, somewhere around here. Then I'll push the shadows toward cooler tones. Yes, this gives us a nice contrast in tone without overdoing it. And to control the strength of the effect, we can adjust the blend and pivot sliders. The first one, blend, determines how smoothly the colors transition between shadows and highlights, whereas pivot sets the midpoint of that transition. So moving it up shifts more of the effect into the highlights, while moving it down pushes it deeper into the shadows. You can also use the neutral pivot slider to pull the image gently back toward its original color balance. It's like dialing back the intensity without flattening everything. And finally, there are the clean black and clean white sliders. These help protect the deepest blacks and brightest whites from being overly tinted by the split toning. It's great for keeping contrast, natural. As a final touch, there is the saturation mask parameter. This one increases the effect in areas with higher saturation. So instead of applying split toning evenly across the whole image, it emphasizes it more where colors are already rich. It's a subtle way to keep your shadows and highlights from looking washed out. Let's check the before and after. Awesome. The image already looked great, but that final touch of split toning really brought it to life. Subtle color contrast, cinematic mood, and just the right amount of polish. And lastly, here you can adjust the global output to your liking. You know, if the effect feels too strong, you can always dial it back. Let's check. Perfect. And there it is, our final look. A clean cinematic grade with subtle film characteristics, natural skin tones, and a touch of split toning magic. So, if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more color grading tutorials. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.